Hi, Kat Kalashian here again, coming to you live from our Live and Invest in Portugal conference in Albufeira. I am joined by my friend Dan, who lives in Lisbon. He's been there for about 8 years now. And tell us, Dan, why did you like Lisbon? Why have you stayed so long?
Well, I stayed so long mainly because I met my wife there. But even if I did not meet my wife there, I'm sure I would still be here. I did a lot of traveling before moving to Portugal, lived in 2 other countries abroad, and those experiences really helped me narrow down the things that I do or don't like. And you can't really get that experience unless you go in the first place.
Yeah.
So you need to go there, you need to experience it, because what you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
And so, I mean, you might think you love this and hate this, but go to a country, live there, experience it. And I think those 2 experiences really helped me filter down and really narrow in on the country that would be best for me. And 3rd time's a charm. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
What were the other countries?
Nicaragua and Belize. Nicaragua, I was there for about a year, and Belize for 6 months.
Okay.
And so,
Very different parts of the world, developing world and
yeah, but
old world.
I think there was very specific things I learned about from each of those places. Nicaragua, no English whatsoever.
Right.
And so you should always learn the local language. So I really hate even bringing that up as an excuse. But it is important to some people. I mean, if you're not going to really put the time into learning a language, because you have to put the time in.
Yeah.
You're not going to it's just not, but for most people, it just doesn't naturally happen.
Isn't a normal part of it for most people.
You will naturally learn to read menus and ask where the bathroom is or directions to your house, but having a full-blown, intelligent conversation, you need to put the work in for that. So I knew I wanted to be in a big city where English was well-spoken. Lisbon's like that. Belize taught me that I wanted to be in a capital city, a larger city, because I was on an island. So I knew I didn't like island life. Going island crazy is a real thing.
Yes.
And so, I knew I wanted big city, close to the airport was really important, and accessible to back home on the east coast of the U.S. And so the island taught me that, because you have to leave an island, then go to an international airport, so it just takes longer to get home or to your old home.
Yeah.
And so good health care is important anywhere, good weather.
What is your neighborhood called in Lisbon?
Campo Lead.
Okay, and did you test out different neighborhoods before finding that one, or what made you choose that area?
The apartment itself.
Okay.
So I think a lot of the areas, I do think the U.S. has a lot more differentiation in the neighborhoods. Lisbon, yes, there's better or worse neighborhoods, and you can tell by the quality of the buildings. But I find that they kind of all mesh together a little bit more. Like if I'm in Campo Lead and I walk to 10 minutes west, I'm not in Campo Lead anymore, but it still looks like kind of the back streets of Portugal. And so it's not a huge difference, but I am central. That's what's important.
Okay.
I'm a 10 to 15 minute walk from 2 major malls. So buying anything is very easy for me. For driving, I have the entry to the highway literally down the street from me. And that's a big issue. If you are going to be driving or think you're going to be exploring Portugal a lot, or you need to drive daily to go somewhere, if you're in one of the back streets that are deep into a neighborhood, it might take you 10 minutes just to get out of your neighborhood, just because the traffic might be bad and it's hard to navigate the streets. And so being close to the highway, I realized is really nice. I didn't realize that before until I lived right next to the entry.
A hidden benefit you discover.
Yeah. So
very cool. So do you do a lot of exploring, getting out of Lisbon?
Yes.
Mostly in Portugal or all over the continent?
I've definitely explored Europe a lot, but probably less than most people would think for someone that lives here. I still crazily never been to Germany, Poland, or Czech Republic, or the Scandinavian countries. Because those places because they're so close, I think you don't make a trip out of it because you think you'll just kind of naturally go there. You could go there anytime. And so I tend to take larger trips. Like this past year, I was in Sri Lanka, Japan, Abu Dhabi.
Going much further afield.
Yeah, a little bit. And so but I've been everywhere in Portugal. Literally everywhere in Portugal, because you can drive. Lisbon's amazing because you can go basically 3 hours up, 3 hours down, gets you anywhere, or an hour east takes you to the border. So you can truly do a day trip anywhere, and I have. And I do a lot. I go to the countryside every other weekend, which is really nice because it gets you out of the city, and it definitely feels different in the countryside. It's much cheaper. You feel like you eat better because everything's just fresher.
So in Lisbon, what would you say the favorite thing or the least favorite thing, or who would love Lisbon or who would hate Lisbon?
I think someone that really likes to bike and really walk long distances everywhere. Like in New York City, like you can walk 30 minutes. It's an easy walk because it's flat. Walking 30 minutes, like Lisbon is walkable, but it's gonna like be a little more physically demanding because of the hills and the stairs.
I can testify to that.
Yeah. So I think it's just like, I mean, in Lisbon you'll think it's like a half mile or a kilometer, and it's an easy flat walk. It might be up and down like 200 feet or something twice. So I think and I will say that if you like riding a bike and using a bike to get places that are like a couple miles away, because in the States you can kind of do that a little more, or other cities like Amsterdam or London even, but not really a bike city.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's perfect for anyone who really loves two seasons. You're kind of rainy fall, like Northeast America fall, like Pennsylvania fall, football weather I call it, and then summer. Summer you're not going to get any rain. Fall you get rain, but that helps because it makes the summer greener.
Right.
And so I think that if you really care about the weather, better quality of life, everything's definitely cheaper. Really good health care. You have so many great hospitals. I've used them. I can attest to them. I've had several surgeries. I'm one of the few people that loves the hospital. Really, like I think the doctors are so great. They treat me really well, especially compared to the stories I've heard from the U.S. So.
Yeah. So, do you mind if I ask what's your rental budget and how big is your apartment?
Yeah. So my apartment's probably about 120 square meters.
That's very nice.
Which
sizable.
You can convert it to square feet in your head if you can.
We'll write that on the screen.
Yeah. And I'm paying $2,000 a month, euros, which is right now probably like $2,400.
Yeah.
Like give or take. Sometimes it's up and down.
Definitely cheaper than Paris.
Yeah, exactly.
But still a cosmopolitan Western European capital with all of the amenities that I take for granted in Paris too, except for the walking and public transport. I will say that Paris is a much better city for walking and biking.
Yeah, and the metro in Paris or London, I mean, it's just vaster. Lisbon has a metro and it's clean, it's nice. I mean, but you have 3 lines, 3 or 4, so you're gonna probably walk longer to go to the stop and go from the stop you get off. But yeah, I mean, the affordability rent-wise, I mean, they are going up like anywhere, but it's definitely a better value than New York City, Paris, or anything like that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us this morning, and we will catch up with you again soon.
Yeah, thanks.